Yes. Hi everyone, Miss Ballooniverse.
Hello.
Happy Ladies' Day, sisters. Uh, Before we started, I thought I'd show you some photos of hats that I've worn at Ascot as we will be making hats today. And when I first started learning balloons, I went to my first convention when I hadn't been going very long, and I
Can you
learned.
mute everyone else? Or can everyone else mute themselves? Because I can't hear Natalie.
So when I first went to my first convention, Monsieur Sigrid of Paris taught me how to make the fantastic balloon hats, and I thought, wow, this would be brilliant at Ascot. I've got to wear a hat like this to Ascot. So I'd only been making balloons like less than a year, and I booked tickets for Royal Ascot. John came to be my photographer. I made an amazing hat, and I was absolutely blown away by the attention that I got. It was so good for my business. I got on the telly, I got in the papers, and I think Annie's got a couple of photos of through each year. So, are you going to share the screen, Annie?
I am.
Oh, brilliant! That's me, Miss Ballooniverse.
Here we go.
So this was my first Ascot hat, and I didn't know what to expect, but if you've ever been to Ascot, you go and the people with the crazy hats go and kind of walk around the inner circle where the entrance to the royal enclosure is, and that's where all the photographers and film crews hang out, and you get sort of foreign film crews interviewing you, and journalists and newspapers, and everyone taking your photo, and it's brilliant fun wearing a crazy hat. And there's a photo of me getting filmed there and just hanging out. It was brilliant. So I thought, well, the next year I've got to do it again, but I've got to have different color scheme, different everything. So that was a beautiful day, just as much fun. So by this time I was a member of Sister Snog, uh, before the following year. And we used to have a fantastic fashion brand called Marilyn and Jane, or was it Jane and Marilyn? Anyway, they made amazing gowns, and we collaborated together, and they lent me a beautiful uh, silk dress that was, in fact, worth. Sorry, that's not a shot of the full gown. It was £800 that gown, and so I did the hat to match, and it was absolutely pouring with rain that day. Couldn't wear the shoes that I'd bought, especially. I had to just wear some patent ones. But just before I left, I thought, oh, I'll make a balloon umbrella. And that kind of captured the imagination of the photographers. So this shot got a lot of traction. So that was a really good year. So then the following year, I think was 2012. This was my controversial year. This was in honor of the Olympics. I, Annie, Games May all hail.
Yes.
And so this is my Olympic theme, complete with torch. But with the tickets, they came. We've changed the rules at Ascot, so now you can't have bare shoulders. Your skirt has to be a certain length. Da 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 da, and rules that used to only be for the royal enclosure now suddenly were for everything. But it didn't pertain to me. My dress is modest and fitted in with the rules. But when I arrived, they wouldn't let me in with a balloon hat because they said it was a novelty hat. So they'd prepared for people that weren't suitably attired by having this whole room with a variety of fascinators, a variety of pashminas and things like that, that you could take for free to make you suitably dressed. So I had no choice. I went, okay, I'll take it. And I'd taken my hat in a bag, on the train. I put my hat back in the bag and I said, I'll check this into the cloakroom. Well, as soon as I got out to where the photographers were, I swapped it round and I put them on. But security were watching, and they accosted me, and security said, you have to take it off. And I went, hang on, all the photographers and cameras were filming were around me, and they started escorting me off the premises. And the photographers were saying, stop, please, let me take a photo. And I went, I can't. They're literally escorting me out. Luckily, John wasn't my photographer that day. He was working. So it was a girlfriend of mine, because it might have got, you know, a bit more argumentative if John was there. So all the photographers followed me out, and I had about 50 photographers taking my picture. I got in the Sunday Times as quote of the week, as saying, this is my art, and they say I'm not welcome. So it was fantastic publicity for me, although I didn't get to see any racing that day. Then the following year, I thought I can bend the rules here. So I worked with a milliner, and she designed the hat for me, and I put balloons on top of the hat, which complied with the rules. But I felt they'd taken a lot of the fun out of Ladies' Day with all the crazy hats and everything. I mean, the year they kicked me out, there was a girl with a great big hat with a full English breakfast on it, but hers was suitable, mine wasn't. So anyway, I felt I'd made my point, and I haven't been back to Ascot since. So that's my Ascot story. Thank you, Annie. We can get on with the balloon making now. Brilliant. So, you've all got your balloons apart from Joe, you've all got your pumps. We're going to start with the classic. I know you've made it before, a couple of you, which is the first thing that I learned to make, the classic balloon dog. So, first of all, I'd like to show you best practice of how to inflate and tie a balloon. So if you just put your pumps and balloons down for the minute and watch, I'll show you how to do it, and then we'll twist along together. So I'm going to choose, I think, a yellow balloon. No, that's not going to show up as well as I want. A green. No, not green. A blue balloon. So when you blow up a balloon, you choose the end with the hole in it. Then you'll see that there's a round circle there, and that's called the nozzle. So what we're going to do is get the end of our pump, and you push the nozzle down and hold on tight as you inflate the balloon, because if you just do it like that, it'll fly off, and that's not what we want. So when we do inflate a balloon, it's quite rare that we will inflate it all the way to the end. We usually leave some space in it, because as you're making twists or bubbles in the balloon, the air gets pushed up and up and up. And if it's got nowhere to go, it pops. And that's the main reason for poppage. We don't want that. So when we inflate our balloon together, for this sculpture, we're going to need about a hand and a thumb, about this much, uninflated. Now, it's about 3.5 inches. But I like to go by hand, and with experience, you'll go, well, I know my hand and a thumb is about that. So I'm just going to show you how I do it. I grab the end of it, and I'm going to inflate to how much I want it. Now, the balloon's really tight here, so I'm going to do what we call burping the balloon. I'm just going to let a bit of air out. Then to tie it, if I try to tie it like that, sorry, I'm disappearing, aren't I? If I try to tie it like that, I haven't got much purchase there. But if I pinch the balloon a little bit further down and let some air out, I give myself a nice long string. Then you can tie it any way you want. But the way I like to tie it is to get 2 fingers, hold it against the string, wrap it around my fingers. Then if I push that nozzle through the middle of my fingers, I can just let it go. And it's there. Then if I just pull it off, it's created a knot by itself. Then I've still got some space there, so I'm going to roll the knot towards the nozzle, give it a squeeze, and I've got the air to the end. So let's do that together. Oh, by the way, if you've got any questions, just wave your hands and unmute yourself and ask away. Maybe I'll try a white one. Yeah. I'm trying white this time, see if it shows up better. So put it over the nozzle, Inflate, leaving about 3.5 inches. Give it a burp. Can feel it's already a bit softer. I'm pinching off about 3 inches down, giving myself that nice long string. Then you just tie it any way you like. Little bit more maybe, Vicky. Yeah. So you just tie it in a knot any way you like, but if you want to do it my way, 2 fingers across the string, wrap the string around, then push the nozzle through. So the nozzle is nearest to your nails. Then when you pull it off, it's formed a knot all by itself. Then roll that knot towards the nozzle.
Do my knots? What am I doing wrong? Have I got too much air?
Yes. Twist the bubble off, let the air out and give yourself a nice long string.
Ah.
There you go.
Thank you, Mum.
And then give it a squeeze, everybody, and you'll see that the air kind of pops back to the end and it gives you a bit of a satisfying little bulge there, which is going to be great for our dog's nose. So when we twist a balloon, we always start with the knot end. Are we all at the stage where we've got an inflated balloon? I think Carol's got a delivery. Yes? Wave your balloon if you're at the same stage. Brilliant. So we always start with the knot end because, as I was saying, as we twist, the air's going to be moving up and along. So we're starting with the dog's nose. Now, dogs don't have very long noses, so I would say about 1.5 inches we'd go down, and I'm going to pinch the balloon where I want the dog's nose to end. Then I'm going to twist it 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to keep hold of that bubble because if I let go, it undoes until it's locked in, and we don't want that to happen. So once again, 1, 2, 3. Now I can feel that even by doing that one twist, this has got a bit tighter, and a tight balloon is more likely to pop. And these are really good quality balloons, so give it a good old squeeze. When you squeeze it, you soften it and move the air down a bit. You will not hurt the balloon by squeezing. Squeeze it, Julia, squeeze it nearer where you've made the twist. Are you twisting along, Hella? Ah, brilliant. I can't see your hands, that's why. So now we're going to make the ears of the dog. Now, dogs don't have terribly big ears, so we just want it to be about a 3-4 inch twist. So I'm going to fold the balloon down, however long I want my ears to be. I can make them longer, shorter, and then I'm going to grab with my opposite hand. If I'm right-handed, it'll be the left hand. I've grabbed the nose bubble and the rest of the balloon, so that's formed a loop there. Then with my right hand, I'm just going to grab that loop and twist 1, 2. I'll show you again. So I folded it, grabbed the nose, and with this hand, twist 1, 2. See, now that's locked in the nose bubble, and that will not unravel. Yes, this is good. Brilliant. How are you doing, Carol? Awesome. Give it another squeeze. Do you feel it's got a bit tighter? Gets tight really quickly. So now we're going to make the neck of the dog, and it's a short neck, so we want about a 1 inch bubble. So we're going to twist 1, 2, 3. And keep hold of it, because if you let go, that happens. 1, 2, 3. Now, these are 260 balloons. They're so called because they're 2 inches in circumference and 60 inches long when they're fully inflated. And it's the science of these is that if you twist a 1-inch bubble, a 1-inch bubble is exactly a round bubble. So it might be useful in the future to know that. So keeping hold of that, I'm going to give it another squeeze, soften that. And we're going to do exactly the same as what we did for the ear bubble. We're going to fold it down, and we want the legs to be slightly longer than the ears. All the same, but unless you want a dachshund, not necessarily smaller than the ears. But hey, this is a 1 balloon dog. We've got freestyle. Now we're going to keep hold of the neck bubble with the rest of the balloon that we haven't twisted yet. So I've got this bubble and the rest of the balloon in my left hand, because I'm right-handed, and then with my right hand, I'm going to twist 1, 2. Carol, it looks like you've got a really long leg there. Can I see that? Because I don't want you to run out of balloon. So remember, out of what we've got here, we've got to make the body, the back leg, and leave something for the tail. So maybe make a smaller front leg. And that's exactly what I was going to say next, because balloons is all about proportion. So we've got to look at what we've got here, and it's going to vary a lot, even though we tried to leave the same amount uninflated. I want to make the body, a pair of back legs, hopefully the same length as the front legs, and leave something for the tail. So this is going to vary wildly between us, and I need quite a long body. I would say there. Some of you that haven't got much left, your body might just be 1 inch, so you can create the same size legs. So give it another squeeze. By eye, decide how long it needs to be, and you can do some trial and error here. See, I've done, no, that needs to be shorter there. And then by eye, when you do the fold, try and make these two the same. So that looks about the same to me. So once again, I'm holding the body and the rest of the balloon in one hand. And then with this hand, I'm grabbing that and just twisting 1, 2. That looks good. That looks good, Vicky. Apart from you're holding the loop, I want you to hold the body and the rest of the balloon, leaving the loop free. So it's this. You're doing this. I want this. Can you hold it nearer to the camera? That's it. Now, hold the body, and what you're doing with your right hand, take your left hand away and do everything with your right hand. That's it. Now twist that loop. No, the other hand. That's fine, but give yourself a bit of a bigger loop. Hold it a little bit further down. That's it. Now just twist that loop. Grab it and twist. 1, 2, yeah, that's it. Yes. So now you've probably got a big old mess, but if you go ears and nose, then make sure the legs are in the right place. Then my legs are sticking up here. I just need to turn that around. You struggling, Carol? That's it. Perfect. Brilliant, Vicky. Oh, Cheryl, you nailed it. Hella, how's the purple one? Oh,
I keep expecting it to burst.
I know, I know.
I love it.
That's the whole point of making it as soft as possible. So if you're a bit scared of balloons popping, make sure you never overinflate your balloons. Yay! Carol, awesome. So you have created your second, Carol, your second, Tracy. I think the rest of you, it's the first. No, I think Annie and Hella made a balloon dog before. But the thing about this classic balloon dog is it's called a 3-loop animal. And when you've made that, you can make dozens of other animals. For instance, here, I've just changed the proportions. I've made same size nose, very big ears, short front legs and long back legs, and just a button tail. And when I do this, I have a bunny. Just doing exactly the same techniques. If I made a long neck, it would be a giraffe. It goes on and on. Monkey, you name it. Brilliant! So now we're going to get on to some techniques for making our fabulous balloon hat. So we're going to start off by making a love heart. Oh. So please grab the colour of your choice and we will go ahead and just twist that together. So when we inflate this one, we're just going to leave one finger about 1/2 inch uninflated, because when we've inflated it, we're not going to tie a knot in this end. We're going to tie it in a circle, because when you're making balloons, I'm at a party, I'm making hundreds of balloons, tying knots tires your fingers out. So wherever you can save time and tie less knots, we go for it. So here we go. Just leave 1/2 inch uninflated. We're still going to burp it. And then tie it into a circle. Do we all have a circle? Come on, Tracy, give us some flair. This would be a good way to learn to juggle, actually, wouldn't it? People do it with scarves. Yeah, I'm way too clumsy to learn to juggle.
Actually, what do we do with the ends?
We're just tying them together, and actually, when you tie them together, don't tie the nozzle to the end. Tie it very tightly, so the ends are really close together like that, and just do a double knot like you would on a shoelace. So tie a knot and then another knot. But this is what I want. I don't want a string between the two. I want them nice and tight together. Hella's taking the pictures. Great. Please do this when you've completed your circle. Awesome. Julia, do you have it? Julia, did you complete the circle? Yay! Okay, Vicky. That's fine for now, but next time, because you might be making that again today, tie it really tight. You've tied the nozzle to it, so you've got a bit of a string there. Ideally, it's nice and tight on, but it's fine. So, what we're going to do now, and if you've got a table or a flat surface you can put it on, that's going to make it easier for you, because we want our love heart to be straight on, not to be kind of skew-whiff like that. But when I'm making this at a party, I don't have a table or a flat surface. I have to use my body, so I press it up against my body to make it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the center. When you've got a circle and you want to find the center, you just take the end there, and then that will give you the perfect 2 halves. Now, just to let me know where that is, I'm just going to give that a squeeze. Just give it a little squeeze, and you'll see it's kind of held it's held that shape there. That's going to tell me where I want to grab it with the other hand, and I want to make the heart shape. So I'm bringing that down, bringing that bit down, and then using my body as a flat surface, I'm holding it like that. So do you see what I've done? I've got the middle and I'm bringing it down and then grabbing that middle together. Then I'm gonna, with my right hand, I'm gonna grab that sort of bottom pointy bit. I'm just gonna squeeze the air with my hand so that I can feel the air going out of it, and then gently let go, and you can feel the air rushing back in. And then I'm gonna go round and round with using the heat of my hand, which will create the arches of the heart. And when I let go, we have a love heart. Oh, you've done really well. Yeah, so it's just doing that. I think I've discovered a new way not to have to put it against my body, because that's kind of turned out nice and flat. So we can put that aside now. Have we all finished? Awesome. This is really, really good. Can't believe it's the first attempt. So you just needed a bit more air in there, Vicky. Vicky, grab where the bottom is and just give it a squeeze, and that'll fill it, you know, if you've not quite got enough air in. So now we are going to make the base of the hat, which is going to be a twirly. It's going to look like this. Now this is a really useful design because we're going to do it as the base of our hat, but you can make it into a wand by getting your heart and adding it to it. So a very useful design. Who doesn't want to be a princess for a day? So please pick 2 contrasting colours of your choice that you will want the hat to be, because this is what you're going to be wearing. So whatever colour you think contrasts or matches your outfit, or you might just want to go crazy. I should have thought about what I'm wearing tomorrow. I'm going to do pink and green. So we're going to blow up both of these balloons, leaving just about 3 fingers uninflated. And don't forget to give it a burp. Then pinch the balloon, let out some air, keeping tight hold, making that string, and then tie it any way you like. And then roll the knot down to the nozzle and give it a squeeze. Then I'm going to do exactly the same again. And give it a burp. Pinch it off a little way up so that I can make a nice string. Wrap it around my fingers, through the 2 fingers towards the nail. Pull it off, pull the nozzle and give it a squeeze. Oh, I don't like that colour. That colour does not show up on my green screen. Do you remember that? I haven't even got a green screen. Oh no, I switched it on. us a wiggle when you've got 2 blown up, please. Well done, well done. Looking good. Is everyone comfortable with the knot tying? Or not so much? Is the knot tying okay? Yeah.
Knot tying was always my mum's job.
Ah. But now you know the Miss Ballooniverse way. Carol, are you there? We're all there. So I just want to show you a little trick about balloons, tips of the trade. So I blew them up so they'd be both the same length. I left about 3 fingers, but you can see, so at the bottom they're the same length, but look how different they are at the top. So the white one, if I want to make that longer to match the pink one, here's the way you do it. You hold it firmly but gently towards where the knot is, and then making my hands into a kind of claw, I'm just going to stretch it like that. Give it a squeeze and stretch it again because it's quite a bit shorter. And now, when I match them up, they're nearly the same, so I'll give it another stretch. There. Now, because that one's got a longer tail than that one, I can just pinch off a bubble, squeeze it up, and now they are exactly the same length. No, they're not. But I can cheat that while I'm twirling it, and I'll show you another trick. So, to start our twirly, we want to make the 2 bubbles at the end. So what I'm going to do is, we want them to be 1-inch bubbles because then they're perfectly round bubbles. I'm just going to put the nozzles and the knots side by side, pinch off where 1 inch is, and then just twist it. 1, 2. I'll do that again. I'm pinching where I want them to be bubbles, and I'm squeezing them together and just twisting. 1, 2. Brilliant. They're a bit long, Tracy. Can you untwist them and make them, yeah, they're more like 2-inch bubbles, because this balloon has to stretch all the way around the head. So, yeah, more so they're a perfect circle. If we're all in the same spot, show us your balloons. Better, brilliant. So if we just leave it like that, it'll unravel. So to lock it in, you just choose one of the bubbles, grab it and push it through the middle and back, and then that's not going to unravel. That's it, just through and back the other side. Then give it another squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Okay, this is how we twirl. I'm going to grab the end of it, and using the heel of my palms, I'm swapping the balloons around and then pulling them out, and swapping and pulling and working my hands up the balloon as I go. Swapping and pulling, swapping, pulling, swapping, pulling, swapping, pulling. Now about halfway up, I'm going to check if one balloon is longer than the other, and the pink one is longer than the white one, and ideally I want them to be even. So if you've got one that's longer, all you do is, for the next turn, I put the longer one around that one, and then lo and behold, they're the same length, and I can carry on as normal. So because I've done that, I haven't got the perfect twirl. So still holding on to the end, I'm going to grab this end and just stretch it. And when you stretch it, it evens out all your twirl. So before I finish it off, I'm going to measure my head, and I'm going to measure it on the generous side, because by tomorrow morning it will have shrunk a bit. So make it bigger than you think it needs to be. That is perfect for me. If it's a little bit short, give it another. Go back a bit on your twirl, Vicky. Go back a bit on your twirl. And then wrap the green one around the pink one for one turn. Yeah, and again, no, just green around the pink, and then one more time, green around the pink, and then continue as normal. Keep going. And green around the pink again, and one more time, the green, yeah, green around the pink, because your green is a lot longer. So you didn't quite put enough air in the pink one. Does it, keep going, Vicky, keep going. Does that fit, give it a stretch, Vicky. Does that fit around your head? So if you measure your head, did you make it? So when you've got the size that you want it to be, we're going to pinch these two together, right next to these two, and we're just going to grab the whole lot and go once around. I'll show you that again. I'm just pinching these two together. Or if you struggle with, if you've got really small hands, you can always give that a twirl. And then make these go around those knot bubbles. How's everyone getting on with that? Yes. Awesome. So we have this. Make it into a bit more, mine's enormous. Brilliant. Oh, you look like princesses of the woods. Hella, you're ready for the gurning competition. So what we have here is fantastic attachment point for all the embellishments we're going to add to the hat to make it ascot worthy. So I want to add another attachment point here. So to do that, I'm going to find the middle as we did before with our heart-shaped balloon. I'm going to twist one side. I'm going to twist it once and twice. So we have this. So there's a position where I can attach lots of things. So just find the middle and then grab the top side and twist it twice around, and you'll get a fantastic attachment point. Awesome. So this is the point where I let you go. How are you getting on, Julia? Did you have a poppage? So, just to give you a couple of more ideas, this works great if you want to add even more attachment points. If you get, that colour doesn't work, you can get another balloon, you can attach it here and then get that to go across as an arch. So it's not showing up at all on there. That can be an arch going across, and then you can add things or twirl things around. You can add your heart. Now remember how when we made the heart, first of all we had a circle. You divide it in two, you have that. You can make a butterfly. You can keep adding to it. You can do another one, join them together, then join another and you have a flower. You can get a balloon and wrap it around your arm and around and around and around, and using the heat of your hand, go round the balloon like that and it becomes a twirly. So I'd like to give you a few minutes, ladies, to embellish your creation in any way you like. If your legs are long enough, you can even add your balloon dog to it. you can feed the balloon through.
If my thing's too small, can I unravel it?
Yes, or indeed start again.
Oh, okay.
It looks like you didn't put enough air in. You only needed to leave a little bit uninflated because you need all that length. You want a nice big hat. So I'd just start again. You can still reuse those, you can attach what you've made there to your balloon. Do you know what I mean? That looks lovely to have things like that going on. So I wouldn't bother unraveling that. I'd use it. So just
Natalie,
start.
Natalie, can you show us again how to do that butterfly with the two?
Sure, absolutely. So you've made your circle like we did before. You find the middle by pulling it out like that. I'm going to push this end into this end because then I've got two loops the same size, and then just twist it 1, 2.
Oh, okay.
Like that. You can shape it using the heat of your hands to make it more like a butterfly.
You start off by tying them together.
Tie the two ends together like we did with the heart, nice and tight. Don't leave a string. Make sure the knot is extremely tight together. As you can see, those two are very tight together. So I've just really pulled it in when I do that knot. How are you getting on, Vicky? Brilliant.
Natalie, I've now
Yes,
got
darling.
2 long balloons.
Yes.
Where do I go from here? I haven't done the twisting. How do I do that?
You want to do the twirly again? You want to make this again?
Yes, please. Yes.
So take the end with the knot on. Are they the same length?
Roughly.
So take the two knot ends and pinch where 1 inch would be, and then wrap them together. That's it. Perfect. Now grab one of the bubbles and push it through between. Grab the green bubble and push it down and up again. Push it through. Get the green bubble and push it through the middle. That's it. That's locked in now.
Now, I have a lot of these hanging out.
Sorry?
I have a lot of this hanging out.
I'll show you how you can make that into something nice at the end. Okay, so Julia, I'll twist a lot for you. Hang on. Quicker to unravel it than do another one. There we go. Woo! So Julia, put the bubbles down, that's it. And then using the heel of your hands, we're gonna swap them and then pull them out. Swap them and pull them out, and you're gonna work your way up the balloon like that. So swap and pull, swap and pull, swap and pull, swap and pull. Then when we get about halfway, just measure and see if they're the same length. And if one's longer than the other, with the longer one, let's say the pink one's longer than the yellow one, I'm going to keep the yellow one straight and go around it with the pink. And then that makes them the same length. And then just carry on as normal. Oh, you're doing great.
So if I want to attach my dog to the crown, how do I do that?
I would put an arch in the middle.
An arch.
When you get to the top, twist it really a lot. 1, 2, 3. But measure your head first. Make sure it's big enough. Give it a stretch. Maybe give it a stretch, because the longer the better, because it's going to shrink by tomorrow. And then hold all those bubbles in one hand and twist them all into each other. Or if your hands aren't big enough, twist the ones with the neck on around the knot ones. Just join them all together. Brilliant, Hella. Oh, that looks like a set of wings you've got there, Carol. That's awesome.
Wow.
Great. Start embellishing there. Okay, so do your legs seem big enough? Are your legs at least big enough that you can put 4 fingers in? Can you put 4 fingers in?
No.
Well, give it a go anyway. So blow up the colour of your choice. Carol? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push this balloon through the legs. So I'm going to it's friction that makes balloons pop. So I'm going to kind of give it a squeeze and open it up as much as I can. Then I'm going to get the knot end and I'm just going to push that through gently. And when it's this far through, I can just pull, and then it'll pull through nice and smoothly.
I can't see your balloon because it's yellow.
So let's get rid of that a sec.
I can see the dog, but I can't see the balloon.
I know. There we go. Oh, green on green. Perfect. So, do you see what I've done there? I'll do it again.
Yeah.
So the bit you have to be gentle about is getting it in first of all. So I'm opening that as wide an aperture as I can. And not everyone will have made their legs long enough.
Okay, so I've got that.
Great. So now you've got that, you can just pull it through and it's a glide. Don't pull it too far through, because you want to then do the same again with the back. Very carefully, because this is where it could pop. So once you've got it through, it's easier to pull it up. So now you've got your dog clinging on. And the way I would do it is to get that knot and wrap it around and around your cluster of 4 bubbles. So wrap it right round in there. And then make a nice arch.
I can't do that because my back legs haven't got very much space. I'll have to think of something else.
He could be just like that, sort of, just with
It could be kneeling.
With just the front legs on works as well. Or you can make another doggy between now and tomorrow. And then I'm going to attach it here. So I'm going to choose how big I want my arch to be. Twist a bubble. And then wrap it around and around that attachment point. Then with what you've got left, you can make a loop, or you can just have it. I would say for what we're doing on Zoom, you don't particularly want a very tall hat, like the hats I would wear to real life ascot. Won't be seen, but width is going to be appreciated on our Zoom screens tomorrow. Oh, well done, Vicky. That looks great. So don't forget the twirly twirly around the arm. Twirls are good. If you've got some bits, oh, necklace, why not?
Bit big.
Too big for a necklace. So if you would like to learn how to utilize all these bits we've got at the end, like so, I will show you how to do a poodle tail. And the way we do this is, see that very, very tip, we're going to make that bobbly bit that goes to the end. So the way you do it is, we want to create some stress just at the very tip. I don't want you going like this. I want it right just at the very, very, just 1 centimetre, grabbing that and picking it this way and that way. So we've created stress there, which means the air is going to want to shoot to that stress bit. Then I'm going to twist a bubble off here for how long I want that bubble to be at the end. So that's just about 3/4 of an inch of a bubble because I haven't got much space here. Then I'm just going to act as if I'm pushing, trying to push that bubble down into that bubble, which seems sort of counterintuitive, but by pushing that down, it's going to shoot up to the top like this. And it disappeared again, because that's just, oh, I've lost it completely there. And once you get a bit more experience, you don't need to do the stress part on it. Joe's going, I don't want to stress my balloons. You can also do it on the tail of the dog. How are you getting on there, Cheryl?
All right, right?
Sometimes I feel, oh, I love it. Sometimes, you know, if you're struggling with doing the poodle tails, you can just literally force the air up to the end. But it's a nice way to finish off your ends.
I've got lots of ends.
If they're bothering you, you can always do this. Let's say I don't want this. I didn't tell you to bring scissors to the class, but what I could do if I want to get rid of that is I just grab it firmly so it's not all going to unravel on me. Get my scissors, just make a little snip in the end of it and gently let the air out and then tie a knot in it. And then to make sure that doesn't let the air out of anything else, I wrap it around and around these other bubbles. And then that's completely got rid of that. So if I wanted to get rid of that, I would probably do that. But I want more wildness and more, you know, not to waste any balloon. So I would possibly just get this green one and just make a loop in it. And then add some more colours, which don't show up against my green screen. How are we doing, ladies? Should we say a couple of more minutes altogether? And by all means, keep going or redo. I'll put on the Sister Snog group the link to catching up on this in case you want to do it again before tomorrow. Awesome.
go, Nat.
Wherever you want it to. Or you can just make it in half, make it into a butterfly. Or you can use it as a heart. I want this one to be really curly, so I'm recurling it.
Natalie, I have to go, but it's been really interesting watching. Thank you.
Oh, darling, sorry about your balloons, and thank you for joining in. They will come eventually.
Yeah, they will.
Oh,
Bye, everyone.
lots of love.
Bye.
Natalie, I can't find a way to attach my, well, I've attached it, but it's very strange.
What, your dog?
Well, it's not I've got my dog here and my heart, but I tried to make some sort of butterfly thing.
I've got the perfect 2-meter hat look. So me.
That's outrageous.
I don't think you'll have any problem getting people to distance from you wearing that. So what is it you want to attach, Hella?
Actually, what?
Unmute everybody now.
It's kind of, maybe I need a little something this way.
What this is.
You know what? You could, if you wanted to, you could attach another arch. Just blow up a balloon and go from one end to the other.
Yeah.
Your attachment point, and you can put, or you could put another twirly there.
Yeah.
Balloon. You want width, or why don't you think of wearing it sideways?
Oh, yeah, that's a thought.
You've already got 2 nice attachments here.
Oh, that's it.
That's a very jaunty angle, Helen.
That's it. Yeah. This is kind of, I'm liking this effect. Sideways is the key.
If it starts to feel a little bit tight when you put it on tomorrow morning, another trick of the trade is you can gently grab the balloon and give it a stretch. And that will make it more comfortable tomorrow. But gently is the word, gently but firmly.
Wait for one.
We need a photo, don't we?
Yeah.
I mean, we can't see you.
Right?
We can't see you on the screen.
No, you
Your
don't
photo-
want to see me, Carol. I've got an abscess on my face, and I'm
Oh,
and that's why I haven't been on video. You really don't want to see me today.
okay. So here we go. Smile, everyone.
Ready? I'm taking a screenshot.
And a big wave.
Screenshot's going to be the best because then no one's got a camera covering their face. Can you put it on the group for us, please, Annie?
I will.
Oh, cheers. This is going to be excellent publicity for Miss Ballooniverse. And I will also put the catch-up on there.
Thank you so much, Natalie, for
Oh,
big round of applause.
thank you so much, guys. You all did brilliantly. I mean,